Question number 10 of the PhilNITS FE afternoon portion of the exam. In this question, we are given a procedure called insert, which inserts an integer number given by the argument after the last element of the linear circular linked list. Okay, I highlighted the key phrases already, and I think if you want, you can quickly read through the text here, but I think when I was reading it, it was a bit, well, I think when you are thinking about the text and attempting to understand what's being said, I think sometimes even the reader would have the problem of what exactly is happening again. And that's why I've highlighted the key phrases, because once we go into the actual program, we will need to be reminded of these things. And in particular, the linear circular linked list. And what we need to do is to insert an integer number. And we have something like a list head, which is the head element of the linear circular linked list. And then the last element, because it's a circular linked list, the last element points to the list head. And if it's empty, the list is empty, then the list head is also undefined. Okay, now the table here, which is I think something that you can also read through and maybe help you understand further what has been said. But really the important thing would be to go into the blanks. What are we supposed to answer in this question? And we can see that the program, the insert function is here, and there are two blanks, A and B. And I think we need to next know what are the choices. That's why the answer group gives us two columns for both blanks A and B respectively. I chose the correct answer, letter B, and I think this question is something that you can think about and be able to understand in a way that shouldn't be too difficult. I know that if you attempt to do that in another question, which I did, you won't get the correct answer. But in this case, I think I got the right answer. So let's see why these are the correct answers. Okay, let me make this larger. Okay, so the program gives us a list head which is currently set to undefined. The function is insert, and what we need to do is insert a new item. If the list head is currently undefined, we're adding a new item. Then the new item, which is now the new node here, okay, is going to be the list head. And because there's no other element yet, then it's also the one next to itself. Now if we're adding another item, then we go to this part here, and the answer for blank A is list head, and for B it's temp at next. Now in this case, I think I put here the diagram which should help us understand much more clearly what's happening. I think when I was answering this, you could sort of really imagine this diagram already. But again, in another type of question, like what I said a while ago, you really may need to write things down. Although again, in another question, you may need to write a lot. So I guess that's where the weights would maybe come in. Some questions no need to write as much, and you can answer the question fairly easily, but won't get a pretty high score. for that number. Well, if you answer it, then it's correct, except that I know that if it's weighted, then some of the other questions would have a higher point than the others. Okay, so in this case, why is it list head? Well, if we think about it, if currently the temp, this one is the list head, and we want to know where is the new item going to be added, then we have to go through this while loop. If the temp.next is not a list head, for example, in this case, this one, then the temp will be the next one, this one. And if the next one, this one, from here, is not the list head, then the temp will be set to this one. And then, because the temp is not yet the list head, then we go to this one. And then, because the next one is already the list head, then we stop doing the while loop. Now we go to this one, the next row, and saying that the next of this one should be the new item, the new node, okay? And then the next of the new node would be the list head. So that's how we would do the insert, okay? And if we look at the answer group again, the correct answer would really be letter B.